everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Mixed Media Frenzy. And today I've done most of the what I will call wet work, the stuff that needs to dry ahead of time. And it's the reason I didn't save it for camera time is because it was extremely simple. I will show you today's sketch that we're lifting, example that we're lifting, tons and tons of layers of scraps underneath here, words going the wrong way, just a cut bit of a doily, a piece of paper with some holes punched out of it, some buttons and some balloons and string, and ink splotches around, and then another layer here, and there's some staples being used. And let me, so that I don't forget, let me pull out my stapler if I can find it. We may not have any stapling going on today because I've not put it back where it belongs. Now, where might I have put it? In any case, I will add some stapled details. Oh, right here. It's right, if it had been a snake, it would have bit me. Is that what they used to say back in my grandpa's day? So there's another little bit of a doily here and some more paper layers, a flower and some leaves and miscellaneous tags and labels sticking out. So I have my, I'm working with my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit based on all the Vicki Boutin collections that I own any pieces of. And all pieces and all collections are fair game. This time I'm choosing quite a lot from Let's Wander, the newest collection. And I've got my kind of little box of some fussy cut elements, a half circle, some tabs and labels and lots of things. I have selected stuff. I really wanted to use this giant tropical leaf with the little green ink splotches and the lime green there, but it's kind of too big, so I picked a smaller one, this one. And I don't like it nearly as well in terms of color, but I think it's gonna go fine. I've fussy cut some things from some papers. I've got the Hey Girl from this paper, and the Say Cheese from, where is it? I have the Say Cheese paper. Actually, it's a bigger piece of paper, so I have it in a different pile. I've cut strips from that paper, this paper. I've punched some buttons, and my punched whole paper will be from there. This is the other side of it. I just punched some buttons from it and had those holes left. And I fussy cut some flowers from this paper from Let's Wander. I was just telling my husband this is too few flowers for me to have left, not to start feeling uncomfortable. I need another page of this. So I will have to communicate that to my trusty kit leader because I'm on spending free, so I don't go buy stuff willy-nilly. I'll just make sure that that's a couple sheets of that are included in my next Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit. I've got a little coconut shell full of small scraps and bits that I may or may not use. Where you see balloons here, I'm gonna have butterflies. So I thought that might be kind of interesting. And because I'm going to use this fabulous photograph of my granddaughter Katie, Ava, and because it kind of goes nicely with this Wonder Wheel image, and that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this month's CSI cases. This is the one right here. It's seeing this carousel just reminds me of the grand adventures I had on carousels and that I've had with my grandkids. Some of my happiest memories and cutest photos are kids on carousels. So I may do this case again if I can go find some carousel pictures. But I like it because I want to use this Wonder Wheel photo, and I'm going to use a title saying, this, my life is a grand adventure, which kind of just looks like what she's saying there. Okay, so let's get back to what I have done already. Let me just kind of slide all that stuff off. I took a too thin piece of white paper, should have used the Vicki Boutin Foundations paper, but this was so simple and so quick, and it was so, it was not as wet as some of the mixed media that I do. I just took my Kraft mat and spread some, let's see what my colors were. Broken China, Worn Lipstick, and Wild Honey, which are absolutely probably my most used inks in that line, Distress Oxides. Just kind of scratched them onto the mat, sprayed a little bit of water, and tapped the paper down. I knew I was going to have, because of this, I was going to have some stuff up here and some stuff here, and there's some stuff in the middle as the butterflies are coming down. And I thought I might use a stamp. I've got this stamp that has little swirly cues, and I thought I might use it with these inks to add some stampy bits around. And let me pull out, let's see what the right colors are for enamel dots. I think that's a good color right there. I only want one color of enamel dots, and it can be different sizes, so I'll go with that. And just kind of spread those around. I'm going to use my punched buttons, and I may only use one. And for other round elements, I will use these puffy stickers, and they're also kind of leather-like stickers, vinyl stickers, I guess I'd say. And I'm not quite sure which ones, but it depends on where I need a sticker. And so let's get started. I'm going to, because this, just kind of sweep all that off, and then I'll figure out how to put it back on. Because this is thin and it's kind of warpy, I'm going to go ahead and staple it to a very heavy Kraft background, and I'm going to kind of let it stay warped and let some of my overhanging embellishments do the gluing down up here. So let's start. I want to use this. I'm going to kind of put this as my guideline there. I want to use this up here. I maybe don't want that much of it. So let me, to get a straight line, I'm gonna maybe do, you know what else I could do? I could bring it all the way up. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll bring it all the way up to the top there, and just as I said, I'll let the embellishments kind of glue it down. I want to halfway, if I do this, there's a little yellow peeking out and a little blue peeking out. I'm kind of missing out on that, but if I bring it all the way up there, it kind of shows through the doily. So, and if I carefully do the, okay, I knew that was going to happen. And let me kind of do this that way. Okay, and I'm going to go here and it should overlap. And I've just lost something. What a mess. I might have lost a washi tape that I wanted to use. Okay, let's see if we can get this on here properly. Okay, that's gonna work for me. Let me step back and actually walk around because I really, really want to use that washi tape, and it may have rolled completely out of sight. And you know, it has disappeared. No, I found it. This is miraculous because I really wanted to use it. It's a nice, colorful element, and I'm actually wanting to use it right up in here. And it may not show. It's this Let's Wander washi, and I'm having trouble finding the end. I want to take just a small bit of it, and I'm going to rip it. Just so that, and this is a bit narrow for ripping. I usually rip wider tapes, but this can be done, I think. Okay, and I'm gonna do just a little torn strip right there, and then I'll use this other ripped strip when I do the washi tape down here. Now the washi tape isn't going to be the bottom thing down here. There was a half circle here that I thought I might use right there, and I will kind of glue it up and glue it specifically so that it holds that that bit down. Okay, and I'm going to also maybe slide a bit of this underneath. I'm not going to use all of it. I'll slide it under and have it showing just a little bit out from underneath the main page, and it's kind of decided to glue itself down underneath where I don't see it. Okay, there. And now I'm going to lay this over kind of right there. Just starting out with that layering up of elements. Okay, I'm gonna now take kind of bits from this bowl and lay them out. I think I have that. I'll just kind of lay one at the top and one at the bottom, just kind of alternating bits. I'm not going to try to completely copy what's in the original, because everyone's got different shaped and sized and colored scraps, and I'm truly using scraps. So I just kind of have that out there. And then I've used one of these little scallopy things down here, I'm going to use another one up here, and it's going to go in a little bit different place. I'm going to maybe lay it right in there. Okay. And I want to do as many of the layers as I can before I start doing anything with the photo. I don't really want to do the, let me get got this that I could lay in under there, but that kind of covers that part that I wanted to show. So I'm going to do this and use something up here, right there. I'll use a heart or a sticker or something there. I want to use this, maybe right there. And then this small bit of green. Green's kind of an accent color in this scenario. And up there at the top, I'm going to actually anchor one of my butterfly balloons kind of right over in this area. So I want to be sure there is a cut flower grouping. Okay, here. I've cut this pink and orange, and I thought I might pop that up there. And then we'll let the butterfly kind of be the large element up there. Do that. Okay, now down here I've got some, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple staples. And they should show there, which is going to be kind of nice. I've got this kind of scallopy turquoisey blue, but I think I'm going to use the black and white side of it under here. I don't want it to be the exact same length. So I know that I want this to live kind of down underneath the photo. The photo may go like that because I want some of this yellow and pink to show. Let me get some. I'm actually going to try these on here. I've used an extra quality. Well, that's not good. I can put some wet glue behind that. I have mentioned before that I hate these things, but I have them, so I'm determined to use them. Why I hate them is the backing, the thickness of the foam and the strong adhesion. Love both of those elements of this, but I have a really hard time starting the peel, and then sometimes when I get it started, it peels off without revealing the adhesive. It just peels a layer off the top. Okay, so that's gonna go, and I think I'll kind of maybe place it. Let me get this down so it's not completely loose. Well, let me get, no, I want this there too. Okay. There. And let me put this right there because I want some of that yellow showing through it. And I'll put it at something of an angle there, and then it's popped up high enough that I can tuck things underneath it. And one of the things I need to do is the bit of doily that I'm going to use here. Let's see. Well, let me first, the bit of doily is going to go on the other side of this Wonder Wheel card and kind of just barely peek through. I will put something there to cover that. I'll let it peek through that way. And what I want to do now is just get a couple of these things on that one side of it. Okay, here and here. And those will need to go on the doily before I tuck it under here. I've tried about 1,000,000 different ways to change the order in which I do layers like that are going to have some dimension in between the layers. And this is just one of my trials. I know I want that kind of like that. And then I know that that's going to leave a bit showing. Well, you know, it doesn't have to leave much. Let me get that like that. And then it kind of sticks through that. So let's try this. I know I'm going to use this blue flower somewhere down here, so it could go there, couldn't it? Or I have a pink one, which might be better, or excuse me, a yellow one, which might, actually the pink might be better down here because of her pink shirt. So let me see if I can pull this off. Well, you know what? It's going to stay, and I'll go with the contrasting color. I'll go with the blue, and I'll tuck it under like that. I don't like the way I fussy cut it right there, so that's why I'm tucking it under. That'll be fine. Now, before I go much farther, I want to include, I want to make sure that I get the butterflies on there. And I'm going to do a one of these things to pop them up so they look like balloons. And when I do that, I need for the twine to be secured underneath there. So that works. I was maybe going to staple them on, and I have done that. If they were balloons, I might even have done that. I decided to use butterflies instead of balloons, kind of because I don't have a, let's go this way. I don't want to lose that again, but I can go that way, and I'm going to just kind of let that go loosely off to the side. And then I want to use the one with the pink in it. Let me do another one of these. I've cut these 3 lengths of twine, equal lengths of twine, and they're going to just trail down, and I may just let them be where they fall and just glue a couple bits with liquid glue just to kind of hold them in a pleasing pattern. Okay, let me do this one kind of right up next. This one's right next to that flower, and this next one will be up next to that. And this one I'm gonna have come down here, but I still need another horizontal bit here. I like that showing, but it kind of needs here. Let's see if I can make this work. This bit is actually torn and may go nicely with that torn edge of the, there we go. Okay, and then I'll put one of these other pieces underneath that torn edge. Okay, that works. I'll put this in under here. I'll let the white show. And then I've got some other pieces. Let's see, make sure that this is on camera. I think when I checked it out before that everything that's on this glass mat is on camera, and that may be true now and it may not. Okay, I've got this pattern up here and down here. Let me use this one, and coming at it, let me cut it into a banner. We have banner ends on a few pieces on the original, and I hadn't done that. So let me do that. Maybe bring it out to there. You know what? I didn't cut that. It may not make much of a difference, but it wasn't pointy at the end. Okay, and I have this bit which is not represented up here, and I'm going to have some things there. And do I have another of those? Oh, let's see. I don't. Yes, I do. Okay, so I can put some of that up there. I was going to do this maybe right across there, or I could do it over here, and I could put it on with a stapler. Okay, and then I'll do it up here, maybe over on this side. I'm getting kind of heavy on that side. I will put one of these banners right here, and I'll put it on with my stapler. Okay, where's this? Here we go. I want to do this maybe right under there. that. Okay, that's good, and I'll staple it in and get 3 layers at once. Let's see. Okay, my next butterfly, I may do this yellow flower. It might be most appropriate right in here, maybe tucked in. Come on. I'm not sure where that's getting stuck. I don't think I have any adhesive under there. Okay, I'll put it there, and it's pretty well jammed in there, so I may not need to do this, but there. Okay, so now I have my choice of either this map one or this one. There was actually a double-sided card there, and I think I'm going to go with the map because it makes 3 completely different ones. I'm going to maybe put this camera as a raised element up there, and I may layer some things around it. I have to be sure to leave room for my title, and it's good I put the yellow flower there because the title has a lot of yellow in it. Again, I hate these things, and I'm not sure what I could do to speed that up during filming. Let's go with that. There. Okay, now I'm going to do this one with the twine behind it. I've got a button that I'm going to use somewhere. I'll just lay it there for the moment. Okay, here's I got my whole ball of twine here that I'm pulling. Okay, that's under my coconut shell. You can't have your twine under your coconut shell or your page just doesn't work. Okay. I kind of like how this is coming together. It has a little bit different look from the original, and one of the differences is all the stuff that's kind of layered completely around the photo. Now their photo's a lot smaller, and there's room for a lot more matting and such. I guess that's a little close to that one, but that's okay. It's going in a different direction, and that gives it some, the composition, some personality, for lack of a better word. Do I need something there? I think here's where we can maybe put some, well, okay, here, larger elements first. I'm tempted to go put in some word strips there. I like that. I'm going to put this kind of adhesive there, and I'll put one of these up at the top so that it holds it up and gives it that lasting dimension. Okay. There's something I put in the trash that I wish I had not, because I'd maybe kind of like to use it. Okay, I'm going to have, let's start working on how these guys are going to lay out. For the balloons, they tended to kind of come down together like this. And I thought that it might look nicer if they were trails kind of behind the butterflies and showing the kind of the flight pattern, if you will. So I think I'll do that with them, and I probably should get that somewhat decided. This is the button I want to use, and I thought I would use it kind of right. Well, actually, let me do it over here because there's no this puts the twine over on this side of the page. Okay, and I tell you what I'm gonna do is put a little dab of glue right in the middle of that. That glue will dry clear and with a matte finish, so it isn't going to show. It'll just tighten up that knot so that it won't come loose. Okay, now I'm going to go with some smaller elements. Well, actually, after my title. Here's the title I wanna use. It's My Life is a Grand Adventure, and I want it up, and I'm probably going to use my own foam to get a nice large backing for it there. Let me do it this way, and then I can touch it. I kind of laid it a little bit. These are really sticky stickers. And I kind of laid it on there. I want it to overlap and overlap the photo this way. And so I think I'm just going to keep it simple and put some roller tape there. There. Okay, that works great for me. Now I'm ready to do a couple things. One is set the trail, and I'm hesitating. I may benefit from having those cut shorter and having fewer twirls in them. How's that? And I'll just leave that there, maybe. A little bit of glue there. Okay, I like that better, and I'm not going to worry about whether they're cut evenly shorter. I'll just snip and kind of do that. This is going to look so different. Even I'm going to question whether I used that sketch properly. Okay, that's on there. And then I thought I'd do this maybe like that. Okay, and that kind of sticks up. I may want to bring that down. Okay, and this one maybe should be shorter than the others, but that makes too much sense. I'll just kind of twirl it up a bit like I had the first ones when they were long. And okay, that's good. Each one of those is a little bit different, and I like that about it. Okay, let's go in here for some miscellaneous elements. I would like to include one of these little circles and one of these stamps. And I kind of like the idea of maybe something right there. No, right up at the very top. And I'll use it as a bit of a tab. I gotta get that. There we go. And this could almost go right here a little bit underneath that doily. And I'm gonna, believe it or not, do some ink splatters. And I'm not gonna worry whether it hits the doily or not. I'm going to put these around, just kind of sprinkle them around in miscellaneous places. Maybe right there. And one right down there. Okay. Didn't use that. Let's see. Is there any reason to use these lime green ones? Probably not. Any more? I could use this button kind of as just a random circle. I will do that right there. And I've got another button like that. That could be just a circle, random circle kind of coming out from around that flower. Let me do another one on the black side, maybe. Up here, whoops, there, what I did, I did the, this is gonna be on the blue side. Actually, let me do it, great. Let me do it kind of like that. And I've got another one of these that I thought, let's see, I think I have another one that's halfway. It's not a full circle. There we go. Don't want to use a full circle if I don't have to. If I'm tucking it behind anyway, I'd just as soon use a part circle. And let's see, that would be cute up here by the camera. All right, what else? Do I need any specific colors anywhere? I've got this black and white. It's from a Jen Hadfield paper. And maybe right there. If I tear it a bit. Okay, so there's a black and white, one type of black and white print that's completely different from another black and white print, kind of layered on top of one another. And I kind of like that effect. Let me do this one up there. Okay. And I'm straightening them out, which I don't really have to do because in the original it's just perfect. That they're at all kinds of angles, like they just were kind of just stuck there. And I love things that look like that. I like this little pretzel sticker, and that's kind of one of her favorite treats. I saw okay, there's, this is great, but first, I like that. That is cute, and it can kind of go right there. And let me lift this leaf up so that you almost have to peek around it to see the words there. I found one on one of the chipboard sheets. Okay, here we go. I've got this little circly arrow bit that I thought maybe could go there, and it somewhat mimics what we have going on with the twine here, so that's cool. There's new places, sightseeing, travel, learn, grow, a wild adventure. I like the wild adventure, but I really only want a small, I like the let's shop or can't wait to go back. What do I, or paradise found, or I followed my heart and it led me here. What of these, or let's just do something here. That was so cool. And it's pink, so it's good to go right in here. And I'm not putting these up on foam because there are so many layers up underneath. Now let me just find some of these little stars, kind of sprinkle those about. Maybe, now that's not happy there. I'll go here. I need to use this little chipboard butterfly somewhere because it's coming loose. Let's see, I have a few more stars. I may as well use them all. And that'll kind of, these are dark, so they'll kind of go along with the ink spots. Normally, I would do the ink spots first, but you know, just not doing that today. Okay, now, there was something I liked on here. This thing that says cheese could go there, maybe. That's cute. And there's this one that says sweet, the little pink ampersand. I'm looking for things that are pink because she does have a pink shirt. And but I've got pink here and in these honeycomb things. I also really love this, but I need a more color kaleidoscopy sort of page to do that. I'm going to actually take a couple of hearts. Let's see what I've got. I've got red, blue, orange, and pink. I'll do the orange and pink. And overlap those, maybe kind of right here. Let me put the orange first and overlap that with the pink, because the orange is too close in color to the pretzel. And there we go. And I may reinforce that with some liquid glue at some point. Okay, now I think I'm ready for ink splatters, and I will cover the photo and the card with my original here. Let me do that a little bit wider. There we go. And this is the standard Dilutions black. I have been lately using a lot of the shimmer, but I found this after having misplaced it in a different, in a place that it wasn't necessarily supposed to be stored. And I thought I'd celebrate my discovery by using it. Okay, now I'm going to go fix. There's still a couple areas where the page is a little bit buckly, and so I'm going to do the staple thing. Again, not being sure, not being you know, too precise about where. And I think we're done. I'm ready to put this one away and go on to the next one. I, again, kind of departed from the intent. This is not a balloon, unless you consider those butterflies balloons. But I think I got my cluster up here, a cluster down here, my big leaf. That was very important to me to get this big leaf. I don't have a little label going over it. Should I? Should I have a label going over that? Let's do that. There's my excuse to use this wild adventure. I can do it like that. And I will put some liquid glue on it, and it's going to bridge a some foam, but okay, so this says my life is a grand adventure, and this says a wild adventure. It's a grand and wild adventure. There we go. Okay, might have been cool to do this, but I know she'd hate for me to cover up her formerly long and beautiful hair, and soon to be again. Okay, so done. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your patience as I go through these long processes, and I appreciate all of you who say that that's a good way for you to learn things. So I'm not going to use this. This kind of fell onto my clothes the other day off another layout, and I can't find out where it came from. So I've been wanting to use it, but it doesn't belong on this page. So thank you very much. Get out there and get yourself into a mixed media frenzy and just have some fun. This one has some mixed media. The mixed media on here was pretty easy, but it was a lot of fun to do. Bye.